Hey guys, welcome. This is a very special video. It is a very special video because we're going to talk about two things that are the two most important things in business. Really, it's probably the most fundamental things you can ever talk about. But it is very important because this video is actually going to be an ad for my company on Facebook. So you guys get first dibs on that. Okay, so there are the only two things that matter in business, okay? Of course, we can talk about many things, but really, it comes down really to these two. There's really nothing else. First, you need a system. Let's start with number two. You need a system that reliably and sustainably finds new customers. And then you need a system that reliably and sustainably delivers the service or product. Deliver. Okay? Now the reason I'm starting with number two is because most people have number one covered. Most people know what they're selling. Are they selling t-shirts? Are they selling a service? Are they a DJ? Are they, in this case, my niche, are you a painter? Are you a builder? Are you a remodeling agency? What are you? What do you deliver? And they know exactly how to deliver the product. Well, I go and I buy the materials and I measure everything out. I go to the place and I do an estimate, all that. They have a system for this. But when it comes to finding, well, how do you sustainably and reliably find new customers? Most of the time, they are outsourcing this part. Right, to like lead companies. Okay? Now, if you are outsourcing half your business, you are sort of selling, if you don't have a way, a mentor of mine explained it, he just told me flat out, Gabe, if you cannot pay money to acquire a client, then you do not have a business. You have the way he said it, he said, you have a very time-consuming, expensive hobby. That's what he said. And this is exactly the reason why. Now, I have nothing against lead companies. Lead companies are great, and a lot of them are making a lot of money, as you guys can tell. Companies like Home Advisor, like Networks, like what are there? Craft Jack, other guys out there, right? And they have a system, right, that reliably brings in new clients. Okay? And then they charge you for leads. That's why they're called lead providers. Now, some people say that they're scam. Other people get great results from them, and that's good. That's good. Now, this is a little bit of a weird business model, and I've shared it with some of my clients before. It's almost like your dating service, but you charge people like depending on whether the girl or the guy sends you a text message back or not. That's a very weird business model to charge somebody like that. If you're in a dating service and you want a dating service, what you want is a date, right? That's just quite simply it. In our business, what we want is a date. What we want is a client. So this is a little secret for you, a little tip. We should not care how much money leads cost us. That's not the metric. The metric we need to worry about is how much money a client is costing us. Okay? Now, I'm going to superimpose this in the ad, a little post that I saw. I thought a guy explained it really well. You guys, if you're watching me live, you won't see it, but if you are not, you'll see it coming up right now. It says, it is an illusion. Instead of they charge you $50 or $500 a lead, they charge you $50. But what counts is conversion, right? He says, it means it doesn't matter if you pay $50 per lead if you close 1 in 10, or if you pay $250 per lead and you close 2 in 10 or 1 in 10, right? So cost of a lead, you should calculate if you're making a sale or not. So basically you calculate it after, not before, right? So no one's gonna pay these companies $250 per lead. So what they do is they charge a small amount and then they sell the lead 1,000 times. So basically you're really getting a qualified lead every once, one time out of like 6.5, he says there. And I think that's a pretty good ratio. So really, how much is the lead costing you? That's not really the issue here. The issue is how much money is the client costing you, right? So that's tip number one. Now, what's really happening here? This is what you want, guys. This is what you really want. You don't want to have the cheapest leads. What you want is you want to be able to afford the most expensive. You want to be able to afford the most expensive client. That's what you want. Who cares if I pay, I'm paying $2 per lead. Well, how many of those are turning into a profitable client? I'd much rather pay $200 per lead if I know that client's going to be worth, $2,000 in profit. I don't care if I had to pay $200, right? So that's really our goal here. So let me show you what the metrics look like, or what the metrics should look like. And this is why I'm offering my clients the ability to do this on their own, to have the marketing machine, the marketing machine. The marketing machine looks like this. It starts with an ad, and then we go to impressions, and then we go to clicks, and then we go to opt-ins. And then we go to, in the case of my niche, an appointment. And then let's say as a client. Cost per acquisition, okay? So everything here has a number, right? So it starts with an ad. The ad might get 1,000 impressions. It might get 100 clicks. It might get 20 opt-ins. It might get 5 applications. And it might get you 1 client. This is just an example, okay? So 1,000 impressions means your ad was shown 1,000 times, whether this was in Google or whether this was in Facebook, right? Now, in Facebook, you pay per impression. In Google, you pay per click, so it just depends. Plus, it depends also, if you're in the space of like, concrete. I work usually mainly with home improvement companies that are more graphic. It's more appealing, eye appealing, right? I like to use a lot of Facebook because Facebook is hot right now. So it would just depend, right? You're not gonna be able to advertise, a lot of concrete work on Facebook. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, right? But more visual. I just got off the phone with a prospect. He's a painter, and again, graphically, it's more appealing. You can put nice pictures. So 1,000 impressions. Out of that, we get 100 clicks. Out of the 100 clicks, 20 of these people actually went in and gave us their information, their phone number, right? For example. And out of those, we were able to get 5 different appointments. We went and did like an estimate. And then out of that, we got 1 client. Well, the question is, then, the lead price would stop here. If I said, let's say I spent, let's say I spent $500 for 1,000 impressions, and I got 100 clicks, right? And then I got out of that, I got 20. So that would be a 5% conversion, right? Of the $500. If you're not following me in the math, don't worry too much about that, okay? So what happens here is a lot of people, well, how much is this costing me? Well, this is important, but what you need is this. This is what you need. So you need to figure this out. And so if you do this enough times and you end up with a result that, let's say you get, let's say you spend $300 here for this ad, or, in this case, $500, and you do this again and again and again, you start to get a really good idea of what that number is. And based on what that number is, you're like, okay, well, it's costing me about $500 to get a client. Now, depending on your business model, this might be profitable or this might not be. If you're selling like t-shirts, this would not be profitable. But if you're selling, if you have a product that's, you can make $1,000, you can make, like, and just think about it. If you could make $1,000 out of that, in other words, you're giving me $1 and I'm giving you 2 back. If you give me $1 and I give you 2 back, how many times would you do it? The question is, or the answer is, as many times as possible, right? So that's what we want to do. And once we have that, we have a system. We have that second part of our business model, which is not only servicing, delivering the product, but also reliably and sustainably get a new client so that we can scale up. All we need now is, well, if I want 3 clients a month, how much money do I have to spend? $1,500. Okay? How much money am I going to make? I'm going to make $3,000. And then if I want to double that again, I can do it. And then pretty soon I'm going to have to be hiring people to be able to keep up with the volume. Okay? That was a quick tip. I'm going to be editing the video. I might do, if anybody's still around, I might do a Q&A in my personal thing. But that's it. That was it. That was the quick point on the 2 things that matter in business: reliably, sustainably get new clients, reliably and sustainably deliver the products or services. Okay? Bye-bye.